Alright, video, take one. So, yeah. A couple weeks ago, I did lose my job. But not in the bad way, not in the worst way that I got fired or anything like that. It tends to happen in the corporate world. It was just like a restructuring, and then just basically my position was abolished around here. So they were like, yeah, we don't need you anymore over here. I'm not making this video to just make it seem, like it's the end of the world. I basically want to make this just because it's the message of all my work, basically, that I just want to inspire others from basically life experiences, maybe some experiences that I've had, maybe some experiences that maybe you've had, or that I've seen, or that some of my friends have seen. Because these past couple weeks of me getting to reflect on what I want to do, on my work and what happened, got me realizing that sure, it is a bad thing, losing your job like that out of nowhere, but the way I see it and the way I explained it to others and the way that I've been explaining it to my friends that I've been, telling slowly but surely, is that it's a blessing in disguise in a way. Because quite honestly, I wasn't the happiest at that place in these last couple of, we can say, weeks, probably maybe a couple months, month or two. I've been struggling to kind of get ideas, and in my writing as well, because the way I see the whole situation is that it's sort of a bad relationship that finally ended. So that's kind of a good thing, but it's the other person who made the move. So that's always better when you don't have to do the breakup part, the breaking up. So it's kind of like, hey, we gotta talk, and then you're like, oh, that doesn't sound good. That's not, we need to talk. Never leads to anything good. We've all heard, the sayings that it's a speed bump in a way, it's a detour. You can name it whatever you want, but it's just temporary. It's just like a little bump in the hike. And once you get over it, it'll be like it was nothing. Sure, it seems a little big at first because you're like, oh, what is this? It's something new and it's something different. But it actually, in a funny way, it actually got me more inspired to continue my work and to perfect my craft and to write more and to do more videos. And speaking of which, I wrote an article about the whole situation. You can find it linked up here or linked down below, and pretty much anywhere, or as always at STNNTY.com. That's where I usually have my blogs. If you haven't read it, shameless plug, just go read it. It's fun, entertaining. They're short reads. They're not that long. They're not that intense. But in a way, I'm glad that chapter of my life is done. I'm glad that's out of the way. It was my first career job, so obviously it's not, it's not the end of the world. It's not like it was towards the end of my career, and I'm like, oh no, I don't really have anywhere else to go. So if you want to kind of know a little bit of what happened and sort of, how I felt during the situation, it's all in the blog. It's all over there. Again, it's linked up here and it's linked below, and STNNTY.com. Feel free to go read it. Feel free to share it. So be expecting more videos now that I have more time in my hands. If you haven't seen my last video, you can always check it up here again. Like I said, I'm just excited for the future. I just wanted to kind of like let this out there and kind of put this out in the world. Like I told my friend, I just wanted to put this out in the world, just to say, look, this is what happened. I would just like to see within a year from now, at least a year from now, what happened after this big change. Basically, life just pushing me off the cliff and saying, look, you did your time here, you did what you had to do, so I'm taking initiative and pushing you off the cliff, and then you gotta find your wings and make way. And that's also why I always finish my articles with, trust me, life is great. Because even though things happen, and even though you get speed bumps, and even though you get punched in the face by life, and even though things don't go according to plan and right turns don't lead to the right places, life is still great. There's always a way out. There's always a positive way out. You just gotta have a positive attitude, because if you have a negative attitude, then your situation is only going to get worse. That's the way I see it. I'm a firm believer of that. So if ever you're going through maybe a little hardship, a little struggle, just keep your head up and always have a clear mindset, and always have a positive mindset that something positive will come out of it. Maybe it's not something tangible, maybe it's not something at the moment. It might be a friend that you make out of it. It might be an experience that you live out of it. It might be a memory that you get out of it. So that's the way I see it. Sure, I lost my job at a moment that I wasn't expecting it. Sure, I lost my job on a Monday morning, which kind of like sucked and kind of ruined the entire week. And sure, that happened before Christmas, before the holidays, before New Year's. It's basically my year, in a way, finishing off earlier than maybe I would have expected, or the calendar would have expected it. And it allows me to start 2020 a new decade, a new year in a better way than I was, in 2019 and in the decade of 2010. If anybody out there is seeing this and is like, hey, I guess I'm going through the same thing, and thank you for that pep talk. Well, then you're welcome. You're welcome, person who needed a pep talk. I'm here to pep talk you all day, anytime. Just replay this video, replay the part that you want to, listen to. But besides that, just be expecting more videos, expecting more creative stuff, projects out of this. Who knows? We might take over the world, we might not. Things will be happening in 2020. I'm excited. So if you did like this video, if you did find that it helped you, or you found some many motivations out of this, just make sure to like it. I would really appreciate it. If you want to see more of the stuff that I do, just make sure to subscribe and join the ride. There are videos every single week. Don't forget to click the bell so you're notified when I make those videos, so then that way you don't miss out. And I'll catch you guys next time at another episode of Live at the Station. I'm Max, in the office again, with the famous background. I don't really have anything else to say. This was pretty much my little story time. So on that note, be positive, be creative, stay inspiring, and it's winter, friends. I don't know what's gonna happen here, but snow is all around us. Terrific. Peace. I'm stuck in this chair.